let's talk about the worker Swordfish. This blaster right here. Hello everyone, my name is Bret. Sometimes I wear a beret, and this is the new worker Swordfish. Yes, there exists another Swordfish product out there in the foam blasting community. We're not going to talk about that today. I just want to show you a quick look at this blaster that was sent to me by NF Strike. Now, let's get real. A lot of people have very differing opinions on this, and I'm not really sure where mine are on it. It's got a scaly handle. It's got a swordfish on the side, right here and right here. As a matter of fact, this screw port right there is the eye of the swordfish on this side, and it's an X, so this is a dead swordfish. So if you don't like the swordfish, you could say it's dead on arrival. It's a little thicker on the right side than the left side. Some people say that not all of the aftermarket cages fit in here. I think motors are mostly okay, but this is what was sent to me as is. Just the blaster, no internals. Got a little switch on the side. These are all things that people have talked about before. And that interesting trigger pull. I think that if you're asking, should I buy this blaster? And you're asking, should I buy this blaster or a Strife? That you've already made up your mind. Because this blaster is very different than a Strife. If you're looking for a Strife, you should get a Strife. When the Strife first came out, it was 20 bucks. It came with a 6-start magazine, which you joke about now, but there is no magazine in this blaster. And all it needed was batteries and you were good to go. You had technically a functioning blaster at that point. This is $40, more or less. I think I've seen it run for about $40 on general sites. It might be around $35 on NF Strike or Lightake at this time. But I know some other people are selling it, and it might be closer to that price range, $35 to $40. Obviously, one of them is a little cheaper for you. Strifes you can't find as regularly, but there is the Amazon white Strife, the modulus one, and this has no internals. So why the heck would you want a blaster that you can't even use out of the box? Because this is a modder's blaster, right? If this is supposed to be a modder's blaster, why is the battery door so small? I know they have extended ones, but why is it meant to only take AA's initially? I guess there's a lot of people like myself who are lazy enough to only use AA's, but I mean, surely they would initially have room for like a LiPo battery if they're catering to the mod community. So, is this a modder's blaster? I don't know. I'm so confused. Swordfish, why? I've seen some very good mods done to this blaster already that have beautiful LED work, and that is awesome. It's very interesting that the Evader is hitting the scene very soon, and the Swordfish happened to show up at the same time. Ooh, competition, who'd have thought? But I think it's a good thing that you have options, like, here's a Swordfish, you can do different stuff with it. It's from Worker. You can put on Worker's Chris Vector kit. The Swordfish also comes with a piece to fit the Chris Vector part onto the handle. Fits nice and secure. You can't get that out unless you flick it off, but I'm not worried about that coming off. Top rail, and of course it'll fit every barrel and stock you have out there. But here it is with the Chris Vector kit on. Looks appropriate with all clear. And of course the sun comes out a little bit once I have all the clear parts on it. I kind of like it like this. I wonder if they're only going to make this clear down the road or if they'll have other paint schemes. Would that ruin the idea of the Swordfish? Or was it always supposed to be clear? Will they have other things on the side, not just a Swordfish? Will they make new blasters that are separate sea creatures? Whoa. Trigger needs some lubrication. Not something you can't fix, but just a note there. And I mean, like, the mag release is comfortable, but the handle, I mean, some people don't mind the scales. I don't mind the scales a little bit. I don't know. They've grown on me a little bit more, but I guess you could paint the scales, but then it's not clear. Are the scales necessary for the Swordfish look? Who decided that scales, and then they fade away a little bit over time. They're subtle, but they're just enough that you notice them. And for some people, it drives them nuts that they can feel that scaling on the handle. And for some people, it's like it's a grip, so it's nice. But I don't know, man. I guess the handle is a little bit bigger too. So for those of you who complain that the strife handle is too small, this one should be big. But if you don't like the scaling, who cares? Because if you don't like a handle, you're not going to be using that blaster probably at all. If you're looking for something that's more customizable and you're not looking for a side-loading evader that already does have LEDs in it and you want to do it yourself, you could get something like this. It's going to cost you a little bit more, but the fact that you can buy something like this blaster and not have to pay even more because they are producing these, you know, with injection molding, it feels nice. The plastic is very high quality. All of the plastic feels great. That says something. It's cool to see that we have blasters coming out. Obviously, they're going to be more expensive than what Hasbro puts out, but that's because Hasbro's a giant machine. They can do that. If you're interested in it, I think you should check it out. I think it's a good platform to work with, but if you're on the fence about it and you're wondering, do I need this even though I have all these strifes? I think you should get a strife. You could likely get one at a thrift store for not too much, or you can get one online for cheaper than this. You'll have a lot more reliability fitting in aftermarket parts with certainty because a lot of people have done stuff with strifes. And if you're looking to actually put on a separate cosmetic kit, you know that they're going to work on a strife because they're all designed for the strife. The Worker Swordfish definitely works with Workers 3D printed or injection molded parts, I should say. They're pretty easy to get on and off as I struggle, as I give up. But, you know, you can guarantee that the strife is going to have a lot more customization than the Swordfish does at this time, that being said. This is the Worker Swordfish. You might see some work done to it in the future. It might be by me, it might be by someone else. I'm not 100% certain. But stuff will be done to it. Thank you, NF Strike, for sending this to me. Very much appreciate it. And I know it'll get some love in the future. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you later.